remembrance of Intercession City was when I was in Beulah Heights, Kentucky orphanage, and they told us that we would be going to Intercession City come the fall. At the time, the roads were so bad and impassable that we would be unable to go to the high school out to Whitley City. So when the bus came, and the ones that were on the bus spent the night, and we got on the bus in September and went to Florida. And it was a rough ride on that bus, our hair flying every which way, and all the windows down, and it was just a bad trip. But when we got into Intercession City, it was the most beautiful place I had ever seen. And when I left there 4 years later, it still was the most beautiful place I had ever been. And I recall all the memories there, the many ones that have gone on before me. But I just treasured every year I spent there at Intercession City. My work schedule was at early mornings at 4 o'clock. I'd get up to help cook breakfast because I've always been an early riser. And coming down the steps on the 7th of December, 1941, an old gentleman there was with a little radio with his ear plastered to it trying to hear. And he said, "We're at war now. The Japs have come in and bombed the fleet in the Pacific." I remember that just as well as if it was yesterday. But all the time spent at Intercession City was good times. We had rough times as well. Most of us there didn't have any money at all. Only somebody would come by and give you 50 cents once in a while or something. But we worked our 4 hours. Most everybody did. And there were some cut-ups and clowns in a lot of us. And there was 4 or 5 of us that was always close together. And we're all during the years. Paul Dorsey, I especially remember him. He came the last year. He was from a big family in Ohio, and he was just a clown. We enjoyed him. Everybody did. And there were others. Charles Jacob, who shared with me his accordion. He had played a saw with a fiddle, and he liked to play that. He got a lot of different comeback when he played. Everybody thought it was just wonderful. And so for 4 years I played his accordion, and we played to the street meetings, and I remember especially St. Cloud. I don't know, there were about 3 or 4 groups that went out on Friday and Saturday nights, but every one of them had their own place to go and their own transportation, sometimes in the back of a truck bouncing up and down, and sometimes we have cars that would take us to these street meetings, and they were really special. We enjoyed it. A lot of things happened. You couldn't walk within 12 inches of a boy. That was a no-no. Another thing, you had to have your dress 13 inches from the floor. Another thing was that you didn't wear any jewelry or anything that would adorn the flesh, they would say. They had the 100-day revivals, and everybody that could preach was there to preach sometime during those 100 days. And they were very careful to see that we were able to go to those meetings every night. And I look back now at some of the names that I see at places, those names are people that had spoke there to that 100-day revival. There's no way I could tell all those who had influenced my life there. Mary Baker was one. She kept up with me for years, and she passed away in Arizona. I mentioned before about Charles Jacob and he sharing his accordion with me those many years, but during that time he played the saw with violin bow, and everybody thought that was something outstanding. Everybody enjoyed that, and he could really play sweet music on that instrument. And I've never heard anybody play one since. That was the last time I ever heard it. But I graduated in 1946, and from there I went with friends who came down from a graduation back to Point Pleasant. And that summer I played the piano for different revivals, and one was for A.J. Smith. He preached, and Bethel, his daughter, was one who led the singing. So many people influenced my life during the stay there at Intercession City, and I'll never forget it. Miss O.C. England especially was so concerned with everything, and A.J. Smith also. There was Mrs. Smith, his wife, who was my piano teacher. There are others that I could name, probably thinking about all the people that influenced me, especially Mary Baker. She kept up with me over the years. And others, there were many others that I thought a lot of. I loved all them. And they were all especially good to me. I was an orphan. I didn't have anybody. And the Bustons, especially from down in the the Bahamas, I believe they were there. And she had come back, and I remember one Christmas especially, she gave me a bar of soap for Christmas. And her children later told me, said they didn't even have a bar of soap. She shared it with me because I didn't have anything. But it was a special time. We handed down clothes, and we wore whatever we could find that was suitable. And life was good to us. It's a special time, and especially remember the kindness of all those who looked out for us and cared for us and took care of us.